Okay, to summarize the last video, I installed a RAM drive of, well, 17 gigs, call it 16, because I have 32 gigs of RAM in my system, and I'm willing to, if necessary, temporarily give up half of that and run on 16 gigs if I feel it's worth filling up the other 16 gigs of the RAM drive with stuff. Well, for Second Life, I think it's worth it. So let's approach this from a different view, different direction. You have more than 16 gigs of RAM, hopefully a hell of a lot more, and you've reserved a chunk of the RAM drive. Now this video, excuse me, makes a few assumptions. You're willing to get by with a smaller cache. You're willing to blow your current cache, delete it, start over clean, which isn't that big a deal. And you're willing to wait a bit longer for Second Life to start and finish. If you're willing to do all that in exchange for a hella fast Second Life, I'm going to show you how to do it. We start by opening up the RAM drive, RAM disk, and let's create a file. No, I have a better idea. Never mind. Start over. Open up the RAM disk. Open up your current cache, which is located at C, users, your name. Now click up here and type /AppData. That's a hidden folder. Local, right there. Where is it? Right there. That's your cache in local. Next step, at least the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to bring up Second Life, Firestorm, Second Life. Bring up preferences, directories. Excuse me. I'll play with the cache a little bit. The whole thing has to fit inside the RAM drive. So I'm going to say 8192 for the textures and 8192 for the assets. And I'm going to use the same folder name as the original cache. So rename, copy, a new folder over here. And that's going to be the new cache right there. And this is the old one. So again, I make sure that the cache settings are going to fit. I'll make the new location in the RAM drive. Okay. Now, when the cache switches over, the old cache is going to be destroyed. That's all right. I'm testing now to make sure that it's going to work, at least to that point. Yep, there's a new cache. There's the old one that's wrecked. So I'm just going to take these out. Right. It is currently running with RAM cache. If we left it like that, well, you'd have some files in the RAM drive, and they stay there, taking up space. So we're going to make a little script to take care of all that, and to back up the new cache. So somewhere convenient, let's say the desktop, new text document. We're going to call it startfs.bat. Get rid of the text extension. Okay, here we go. What's the first thing we want to do first thing we want to do in the batch file. I'm going to use the old location to back up the new data. So what's going to happen is it's going to run, do some stuff here, and then back it up into the original folder so nothing's lost. So that means the first step we have to do is copy the backup to the proper spot. Robocopy space the backup location, which is here. Copy as path. Robocopy that to the RAM drive. /mir, which means mirror it. Delete what isn't there. Add what isn't there. Delete what is there. Exactly copy the backup. Use this for the backup. Exactly copy the backup to the new location. Let's get rid of this in the meantime. Then we want to run the viewer itself. That's located at C, program files. Now I'm running the beta. You may be running the regular version. Either way, it's going to be Firestorm 64 or Firestorm Beta 64, whatever. Open it up. Find the executable. Copy path. Alright. Synchronize the backup into the RAM drive. Run the viewer, which is already pointing to use this folder that's going to be in here as the cache. When it exits, when the viewer exits, we want to reverse this operation. Copy. We want to robocopy our Firestorm X64 into the old location. And then we want to get rid of the one that's in here. So remove directory, quiet, subfolders. Copy. One more time. We're going to synchronize the spot we chose for the backup. It doesn't have to be here. It could be anywhere. And I like to put it back in the original location because then if I decide to go back to the old way, I just point the viewer to that folder and we're back in business. So copy the backup to the RAM drive folder. Run the viewer. When the viewer exits, synchronize the backup, the RAM drive folder to the backup, and then get rid of the RAM drive folder. Save, 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 save. Let's be sure this works now. They're both empty. What I expect to happen is nothing to show up here, files to show up here. And the viewer to run. I expect to see files over here, or rather that folder, and nothing in there. That's right, that's right, that's right. And when I exit the folder, I'm going to exit the folder. When I exit the viewer, I expect to see files over here and this to be gone. Yep, it works. It copies the backup folders, synchronizes the backup to the RAM drive folder. When I exit, it puts any changes that happened back. That's it. Let's give it a real life test now. That first pass was very short because I didn't even log in. There's nothing in there. Okay, now why is it worth all this trouble? You'll find that if you do this, Firestorm runs hella fast. Hella fast because the cache is in RAM now. Now the system spends milliseconds creating cache files and deleting cache files and all that. RAM drive is hella faster than an SSD. No, let me see. It's a lot faster than an LSD and hella faster than a mechanical drive. So let me get some textures in here. Okay, what I expect to see happen is I want to see some files go toward the left now. It's going to put the new files into here. Yep, there they go. And this should be empty. Yep, it's working great. We're running Firestorm with a RAM cache now. If by some chance you want to undo it, just run Firestorm directly. If you decide you don't want to do this anymore, go to Preference Directory, point this back to the original location, and maybe crank that up again. Alright, let's just play a little bit. Let's give this a real good test. It's copying the backup into the RAM drive. Firestorm is already pointing at the RAM drive, we know that. Any cache changes now will happen in RAM. I know we already did this, but I want to be really sure. So let me go to one other place, anywhere. Anywhere that has a lot of textures. So, in closing, if you decide it's worth doing this, if you decide you don't mind all those files being copied back and forth, waiting for them, if you decide that's a fair exchange to have a super fast Firestorm and a smaller cache than you might expect, then go for it. Oh man, if you got 64 gigs of RAM, no, wait, 64? Yeah, the highest the cache can hold is 40 gigs. So if you've got like 64 gigs of RAM or more, you could set up a 40 gig RAM drive and crank that cache settings up to full. But you'd probably wait 20 minutes for the files to copy over. It's a trade-off. In my opinion, this is well worth it. Because when I do this, I've done this with a smaller RAM cache. Oh man, Second Life is so fast now. Alright, enough blabbering. I expect to see a whole lot of files go over to the backup now. See all the new stuff. See new file. That's all the new stuff. Be warned, this is going to take longer and longer as you play. But yeah. If you think the trade-off is worth it, then go for it. RAM drive is empty. Yeah, we're good. Okay, if you have any questions, give me a shout in World. Oh yeah, then put your startup batch somewhere where you can get at it. Desktop is good. If you ever forget to use the batch, yeah, let's simulate that. I forgot to start up with the batch file. I'm going to run it directly. If you ever forget to use the batch, well, then you're going to have to go over to the RAM disk and manually get rid of that. Oh, if you want to run multiple avatars, run the first one with the startup batch. Run avatars 2, 3, 4, whatever, directly from your start menu. And then exit them, log off in the other order. Start with your main avatar, your first avatar, log out that one last. I would show you, but I don't want to reveal my alts.